Okay, guys, now we're going to go over your different kinds of figures, your different kinds of graphs, and what points they are used to emphasize. Okay, first off, pie graphs will be used to emphasize proportions. Okay, anything that's part of a whole. All right, so ratios, fractions, okay, proportions, you guys will be using a pie graph. All right. All right. The next kind of graph is your bar column graph. All right, these are used to emphasize the difference between things. All right, two or more separate things. So you guys can actually compare a lot of things. Okay, looking at this graph, you guys have the independent manipulated variables down here. Okay, in class, at work, and in bed. All right, and then of course you've got your responding dependent variable on the y-axis over here. How easy it is to fall asleep. Measuring, that's what you're measuring. Okay, in class, oh, 100%, knockout. Okay, at work, oh, that's hard to stay awake. And then, when you're in bed, trying to go to sleep, it's a very hard time. Okay, moving on to the next graph. All right, a line graph is used to emphasize and show change. All right. Now, a lot of you guys may say change over time, but do understand that change may not always happen over time. Sometimes it's over different points. Okay. You guys look at this graph very simply. You've got your independent manipulated variable on the bottom. All right. You've got the amount of time, I mean, not the amount of time, the time you're taking measurements. And then on the y-axis, the dependent responding variable, what you're feeling, right? Or how you're reacting depending on how long you've been forced to play a childish game like Duck Duck Goose, okay? For example, you're forced to play Duck Duck Goose, at 2 minutes into the game. All right, you're all like, I'm old. I'm 14, 15, 16. I don't want to play Duck Duck Goose. Okay, you've been playing for 10 minutes. You watch your friend, run around saying duck, 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 and then you're like, okay, starting to get the hang of it. I'll play, you know, and then it's getting closer to your turn, starting to get a little bit more fun. All right, at 15 minutes into the game, starting to get close to your turn, and you're getting maybe a little excited. Okay, and then it's finally your turn to pick the goose. Okay, so you get up 30 minutes of the game, you're picking duck, 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 and you're having fun. Okay, and then you go goose, and then you run around in circles and you're having fun. Okay, and then the teacher goes, okay, you're done playing this game, now you gotta do homework, and then you're all like, I want to play again. Okay, so that's the dependent variables compared to the dependent variables. All right. Okay, now these are actually the three kinds of figures or the three kinds of graphs that you guys will be using. Okay, and again, it's used to emphasize certain points. All right, and I'm going to go over how to make each one now. Okay. Okay, now to make a graph, you first want to go into your drive. All right, during drive, you want to go to new, and then you want to create a spreadsheet. Okay, now let's first start with the pie graph. Okay, we're going to do proportions. For example, let's see the amount of proteins, carbohydrates, okay, or sugars, and fats and lipids. Okay, lipids is another word for fats. Okay, so you want to see the ratio of this in grams in spam. Okay, so let's take a look real quick. Nutrition in spam. Okay, so protein 7. Oops. Protein 7, carbs 2, fat 15. Okay, so protein 7, carbs 2, fats and lipids 15. All right. Okay, now, once you guys have entered your data into the spreadsheet, this is how you guys create a graph. All right, you first highlight your data. Then you go to Insert, and then you go to Chart. Now, the spreadsheet program has a mind of its own. It's very smart, and it automatically shoots out graphs for you. Okay. However, this is not the graph we're looking for. All right. So you want to edit your chart with this menu here. Okay. You go to Setup. You go to Chart Type. Okay, right here, Setup Chart Type, and then you scroll to the one that you want. Okay, so you want pi. Okay. Now this isn't what you want. Sometimes the program is not smart enough. Sometimes it switches the independent manipulated variable with the dependent responding variable. Okay, so in that case, stay on Setup, go all the way down, all right, and you click this button right here. This is a very important button right here. Okay, it changes your independent manipulated variable with your dependent responding variable. Okay, so once you click there, oh, that looks correct. Okay, so you're good. Okay, so in SPAM, in terms of grams or mass, there's this much fats and lipids, there's this much proteins, and there's this much sugars and carbohydrates. All right. Okay, now make sure you guys label this correctly. Okay. Ratio of nutrients in SPAM. Okay. Okay, now, if this is the graph that you want, all right, you guys can copy and paste. Okay, so from your spreadsheet, go to this little sidebar right here, copy chart, and then you want to paste it into your Word document, your Google Word document. Okay, I would paste unlinked because if you change the spreadsheet, it may change the chart. Okay, if you paste it unlinked, then it doesn't change if you accidentally change it or if you accidentally delete the spreadsheet. Okay, now here it is. Okay, as a picture. And remember, graphs, you always have to label, all right? Name them, okay? So you name it figure 1, okay? Nutrients, ratio of nutrients in SPAM, all right? Okay, now, what if you wanted to now compare the height difference in trees? Okay, so let's kind of get into that. Height difference in trees. Okay, now you're comparing the difference between two or more things. What kind of graph are you going to use? Okay, let's first go with a mango tree. Mango tree. Coconut tree. Pineapple tree. Oh, almost got you guys there, huh? Yeah, pineapples don't grow on trees. Okay. Let's go with papaya tree. And ulu tree. Okay, so here we'll have the thing you're measuring, dependent responding. All right, so meters. Okay, mango tree. Let's go with 10 meters or about 30 feet. Coconut tree. Let's go with 50 feet. All right, so that's how much meters is that? Okay, let's go with 18 meters. Okay, papaya tree. All right, let's go with not too tall, right? Papaya trees. They go with 7 meters. Ulu tree. Let's go with 12 meters. Okay. Now, same thing. Make your graph. You highlight your data. Insert chart. Okay. Now, in this case, it actually shot out the right graph. Okay? So in this case, you look at your graph, it looks correct. You don't have to change the chart type. Okay, you don't have to switch the dependent and independent variables. Okay, so you don't have to push that button down there. All right, and what I would just do is make sure you customize it correctly. Okay, make sure it's labeled correctly. Okay, let's call it height of different trees. Make sure you remember, once you guys put this in a report, you do have to have the name for figures down here. Okay, so let me do that for you. All right, let's copy chart, and then same thing over here. Okay, paste, unlinked, then you name it. In this case, this is figure what? What's the name of this graph? You already got figure 1, right? So you have to call this figure 2. All right, height of different trees in my yard. Okay, moving on to the last one. Okay, what if you wanted to track the growth of trees? Okay, now in this case, yes, we'll be measuring, all right, but it might be hard to tell the difference between the independent manipulated variable and the dependent responding variable on the chart. Okay, it should be easier to look at on the graph, but on the chart, all right, this spreadsheet, all right, all you do is you enter the labels of both of your independent variables, all right, because you're measuring change here, okay? So in this case, change will come over time. This will be the growth of these trees, okay? So let's say week 1, okay? Week 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? So now from saplings, okay, let's go with mango tree. 1, actually 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Okay, coconut tree. Let's go with 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. Fire tree. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Ulu tree. Let's go with 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 9. Right? Okay. So same thing. Highlight the data. All right. Insert chart, and look at that. It actually spit out a very good, shot out a very good graph. Okay. Of course, you want to name it correctly. Um, height of trees. No, not height, right? Because this is change. Growth of trees from saplings. Okay. And then same thing. You wanna copy chart, paste, unlinked, and then you want to give it a name. Okay. Figure 3. Growth of different trees. Okay? Okay, now, that's your data section. All right? You also want to have your analysis and conclusion section. Okay? So, analysis and your conclusion section. Okay? So in your analysis, you always want to refer back to the data. Okay, you always want to make statements that refer back to the data. Remember, you want your statements to be heavy. You want your statements to have impact. All right? You do not want to be unbiased. You want evidence to support what you're claiming. Okay, so you will make statements that refer back to the data. Okay, so if I make a statement here, I will say, the coconut tree grew faster than the papaya tree. All right. Of course, make sure you refer back to which graph, because if you put according to the data, then me as a reader, I'd be like, what? What am I looking at? Am I looking at graph 1, figure 2, or figure 3? Make sure you cite and refer to the specific figure. Okay. So according to data is wrong in terms of referring. So according to figure 3, right? So that would be a unbiased statement. Okay? You can make more claims. Okay? Also, according to figure 2, the coconut tree is taller than the other trees. Okay, again, referring back to the data, right? And that's how you do science. Okay, that's how you guys use your evidence, your graphs, to do science and make statements that have evidence that supports it. Okay? If there's any questions, leave a comment. All right?